The sun crests the horizon, painting the sky in soft hues of orange, pink. Below, a vast unbroken sea of green stretches as far as the eye can see. This is the Amazon, a world of immense biodiversity, shrouded in mist. Mystery. The air is still, the usual chorus of birds. Insects has fallen silent. A colossal shadow moves with impossible grace across the surface of a dark, murky swamp. A long, impossibly thick body slips free from the water's embrace. A head, broad and powerful, rises from the depths. A snake, nearly the length of a city bus, emerges from the mud, its scales glistening in the dawn light. This is the Titanoboa. What if the largest snake to ever exist was still alive today? This question is not merely a flight of fantasy. It is a journey into deep time, a story told by fossils, interpreted by science, and illuminated by a touch of careful imagination. Our journey into the world of Titanoboa begins not in a steamy rainforest, but in the vast Cerrejón coal mine in northern Colombia. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, as miners carved away layers of earth, they began to uncover something extraordinary. They found fossils, but not of the dinosaurs that had vanished millions of years earlier. These were the remains of a later age, the Paleocene. Among the petrified leaves and ancient turtle shells, geologists and paleontologists discovered vertebrae. They were snake vertebrae, but their size was simply astounding, larger than any ever recorded. They were so big that at first some thought they belonged to an ancient species of giant crocodile. It took a team of dedicated scientists to piece the puzzle together. By comparing these massive vertebrae to those of modern snakes, particularly anacondas and boas, they could begin to build a picture of the animal they belonged to. The calculations were staggering. From these enormous bones, the researchers made their careful scientific estimates. They concluded that this ancient snake, Titanoboa cerrejonensis, could have reached lengths of up to 15 meters, nearly 50 feet. Its weight was estimated to be over 1,100 kilograms, heavier than a small car, and far surpassing any living snake today. Laid on a city street, it would stretch longer than a school bus, nearly a meter thick at its widest, a moving wall of muscle and scales. This discovery redefined reptilian gigantism, sent shockwaves through science, and raised a question. What kind of world could have supported such a creature? The answer was written in Climate. To understand how an animal like Titanoboa could exist, we must transport ourselves back in time to its world. The Paleocene epoch, beginning roughly 66 million years ago, followed the catastrophic extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs. The planet was recovering. Mammals began their rise. But for a time, reptiles were still kings, and the reason was simple: heat. The Earth was significantly hotter than today, especially in the tropical regions where Titanoboa lived. Its home in what is now Colombia was a sweltering, humid environment, with average temperatures possibly exceeding 30 degrees Celsius. This intense, sustained warmth was the key to Titanoboa's immense size. As ectotherms, reptiles rely on external heat to regulate body temperature and metabolism. In a consistently hot climate, their metabolism runs higher and more efficient, digesting faster, growing faster, and ultimately reaching much larger sizes than in cooler climates. Warm, slow-moving rivers and sprawling swamps were the perfect incubator for gigantism, an environment that didn't just allow Titanoboa to grow large, it encouraged it. The Cerrejón Formation was once a massive river delta flowing into the ancient Caribbean Sea. Giant turtles, enormous crocodile-like dinosaurs, rich aquatic prey to sustain a predator of epic proportions. The temperature size rule links warmth to bigger ectotherms. Titanoboa's size acts like a paleothermometer, a biological clue to a true hothouse world. Titanoboa was not an anomaly, but a product of its environment. Its size tells us as much about ancient climate as about the animal itself. With its colossal size, Titanoboa was undoubtedly an apex predator in its ecosystem. But it was not a creature of speed. A snake weighing over a ton would have been slow and ponderous on land. Its true domain was the water. Like modern anacondas, Titanoboa was likely a semi-aquatic hunter, using the murky depths to its advantage. An ambush predator, a patient giant lying in wait, with only eyes and nostrils breaking the surface, appearing like a harmless log. It would wait for hours, even days, for the right moment. A strike from Titanoboa would have been powerful, its jaws latching on while its immense body coiled in an unbreakable grip. Scientists estimate pressure over 400 pounds per square inch, enough to crush bone and cause rapid circulatory failure. Once subdued, the slow process of swallowing began. Flexible ligaments and backward-facing teeth let it engulf prey nearly as wide as its own body. A single 10-foot crocodilian could sustain it for months. Life for Titanoboa was a rhythm of patience and power. The waterways were its kingdom. Its size gave unrivaled power, but also bound it to a very specific, warm, water-rich way of life. For millions of years, Titanoboa reigned as the undisputed king of its world. But no reign lasts forever. The Earth is dynamic, its climate always in flux. After the intense warmth of the Paleocene and early Eocene, a slow but inexorable global cooling began. Over millions of years, global temperatures fell. Ice grew at the poles, the hothouse faded. This gradual change spelled doom for many large, cold-blooded creatures. Heat, Titanoboa's key to greatness, became its vulnerability as metabolism slowed. Digestion took longer, hunting grew harder. The tropical zone, its only viable habitat, shrank. Swamps changed, ecosystems destabilized. For such a specialized giant, even subtle average cooling could be catastrophic. Extinction came slowly, across generations. Smaller individuals fared better, but the species faltered. The world was no longer made for monsters of its scale. The same forces that opened the door eventually closed it. Its bones lay buried for 60 million years. A magnificent beast simply too big for a cooling world. Now, let us engage in a thought experiment. Let us imagine Titanoboa did not go completely extinct. Imagine a small, isolated population clinging to existence, finding refuge in the deepest, most inaccessible parts of our world. Could such a creature survive today? The most likely refuge, the Amazon basin, the largest rainforest on Earth. A vast labyrinth of rivers, swamps, dense jungle, much of it still poorly explored. Immense heat and humidity echoing the Paleocene, but not identical. The modern Amazon is several degrees cooler than that hothouse. That temperature drop would challenge a Paleocene-tuned metabolism. Modern Titanoboa would likely be smaller. Show graphic. 15 meters beside a human and a city bus. Maybe 10 to 12 meters instead of 15. It would be limited to the warmest, wettest parts of the basin. Deep, thermally stable swamps. Rivers that stay hot year-round. Survival needs: stable, abundant food, large fish, caimans, capybaras, the occasional tapir or cow, across vast territories with minimal disturbance. In remote, uncharted corners, a semi-aquatic ambush hunter could remain concealed in murky water. Rarely seen. Initial evidence would be blurry photographs, local legends, livestock disappearances. Scientists would be skeptical, then launch perilous expeditions. The presence of a living Titanoboa in the modern Amazon would send profound ripples through both the natural ecosystem and human society. It would immediately install itself as a new apex predator. Its primary prey would likely be large caimans, manatees, capybaras. This would create intense competition for the Amazon's other top predators, the jaguar and the black caiman. Jaguars, hunters of riverbanks, would become far more cautious, avoiding territories patrolled by the giant snake. Prey populations would come under new pressure. Effects would cascade. Fewer caimans might mean more fish in some reaches. Fear of a massive aquatic predator would alter when and where animals drink. Ecologists would flock to study a living laboratory of evolutionary biology. For river communities, reality would be transformative and dangerous. Rivers, food and highways would become zones of extreme danger. Fishing from small canoes becomes a life-threatening gamble. Children learn early, never approach the water's edge alone. Livestock would be tempting meals, causing real economic losses, and prompting cultural adaptation, new myths and global fascination. High-risk ecotourism would surge, aiding economies but pressuring a fragile ecosystem with complex conservation challenges. The confirmation of a living Titanoboa would spark a global debate. How do we manage this incredible yet dangerous discovery? The conflict between conservation and human safety would be immediate and intense. Its scientific and cultural value would be immeasurable. Conservationists would demand vast protected areas, a living link to deep time. But for locals, threat to life and livelihood is real. Communities may demand control or eradication. Industry would press too. A single attack or repeated livestock losses would drive political pressure. The snake framed as a monster to neutralize. Modern science would mobilize. Biologists would track movements, estimate populations, map territories. They'd collect eDNA and fly drones across shorelines, all to inform robust management. Engineers would design reinforced transport and livestock fencing. Medical teams would build emergency protocols. Coexistence would mean strict reserves, buffer zones, and support for affected communities. The story of Titanoboa, whether as a fossil or as a living creature of our imagination, offers profound lessons. It teaches us about the immense scale of deep time and the incredible adaptability of life. It demonstrates the powerful link between climate and evolution. When the planet's thermostat changes, the rules of life change with it. Studying such creatures reveals the drivers of biodiversity and extinction, a baseline for today's changes. As our world warms, we may recreate some Paleocene conditions. In a warmer, wetter future, could reptilian gigantism evolve again? Evolution works on long timescales, but animals reflect their environment. Climate change isn't just rising seas, it's a reshuffling of life's deck. In the end, we must look in the mirror and ask a final question. If Titanoboa returned, would we see it as a monster to be conquered? A beast to be slain in humanity's quest for dominion? Or would we see it as a teacher? A living monument from a lost world, deserving our respect, forcing us to learn to live alongside it. The answer would reveal much about our maturity as a species. Would we choose dominance, or learn to share our planet with wild nature's awesome, terrifying power? This is not just a story of fear, but of wonder. The Titanoboa was real, its bones a silent testament to serpents as titans. If Titanoboa still ruled our world, would humans remain the planet's dominant species, or would we simply learn to survive alongside nature's greatest serpent? Subscribe for more fascinating documentaries exploring Earth's greatest mysteries, prehistoric giants, and incredible scientific discoveries.